Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
The podcast! We are covering our next movie here, which is Love and Monsters, because apparently I'm on some kind of Dylan O'Brien kick.
I'm Alex, by the way.
Oh, no, I didn't this time! No!
This was your...
Oh, no!
But yes, you are on a Dylan O'Brien kick.
I pulled a U. Oh, man. Okay, hi, I'm Erik.
So you're excited about this one. I was excited about Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I judged you for it, but I guess I get it now.
Okay, I gotta say, it was goofy, it was silly, but I ended up watching it twice.
Is it going? Did you get a better idea of it the second time?
Yes, of course, because I got to see a lot of the nuance that I missed the first time. But
You're telling me a screaming baby in your arms makes it hard to watch a movie?
I guess, I mean, if you're a weak individual, you know,
Damn,
it
skill issue.
If it was his mom, she would handle this like no problem. I am.
Your nose is looking a little brown.
I'm an inexperienced parent.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Jeez.
But I like the movie. The reasoning just threw me for a loop.
The start, like the
whole beginning, how it became was like I did not expect that in the slightest.
Well, we might be getting really close to something like that.
You said 2027. I'm seeing something for 2024. It may not be the same thing.
I think maybe.
Or I'm sorry, 2029.
Oh,
because they said 7 years, and the article was in 2022. So
Well,
there's
we're
a
talking
lot of
about-
astraids coming around the Earth right now.
So there's a big asteroid coming around. I already forgot the name of it. Or it was 2007 2007 something, because it was found in 2007. That's when they first spotted it, and then they lost it. By they, I mean NASA. And the bikini bottom fish on Instagram, who is my only reliable source of news, was saying that it's kind of fair that they lost an asteroid because space is big. And then they recently found it, and from what I'm reading, they estimate the trajectory to be 2027. So
right.
I think they just sent up a probe to go check it out and see what's going on with it. But yeah, apparently it's like a 1 in 11 million chance that it hits us or something like that. It's really unlikely that it actually hits us, but it is coming really close. And they were saying this is like the first time in recorded history that something like this would be happening.
Yeah, they'll be able to, apparently, if it crosses as close as they think, they will be able to actually send up probes that will still be in Earth's orbit, but be on the far side of this asteroid and be able to examine it from there.
Which means we should be able to see it.
You should be able to.
Can you imagine?
As long as I don't see it burning up in the sky, I don't think I care.
But that's so close.
It is. I mean,
that's incredible.
And to see like weird space stuff is super cool. I'm a weirdo. And I still believe that Pluto is a planet. Send it to me. Let's go. I will fight you for it.
I just heard an argument about this, and I totally agree. They call it a dwarf planet. It is still a planet. You just called it a planet. So how are you going to say it's not a planet? How are you going to teach me my whole life that it's a planet just to tell me it's not a planet?
And
then still call it a planet.
Give me the definition of a planet, and Pluto meets all the requirements.
I think the science community really dropped the ball on that one. I'm not going to lie.
And Pluto is so dang fascinating. Mm-hmm. I mean...
The moon that it's perfectly in sync with, they say you could build a bridge between the two and it wouldn't break.
Yep.
It is so cool.
Tidally locked to that moon, and they swing each other.
The argument for Pluto not being a planet is that, it has a disproportionately large moon. So does Earth. I mean, it's not quite the same, but we have a disproportionately large moon compared to like the moons on Jupiter.
Well, and then if I'm not mistaken, let me look this up real quick. I'm pretty sure Venus has no moon.
I don't know enough about space.
Venus does not have a moon.
Interesting.
It did But billions of years ago, apparently, something happened.
How do we know it used to have a moon?
You see, that's a great question. I don't know how we would know that.
If it like what?
But I think like there's so many other questions that I have, like the huge gap between Mars and Jupiter, and that there's an asteroid belt in between there. Like, what if there was a planet that was between Mars and Jupiter that was struck by something astronomically large, and it was just pulverized, like these two celestial objects just pulverized each other right in their spot, keeping it in the orbit of the sun. So it's still rotating around, it's still revolving around the sun, but then it's all of this space debris creating this asteroid belt that now we get to pass through it every summer. So we see the asteroid shower. We see the falling stars every summer.
Well, we don't. But, you know, anybody
LA.
who doesn't live in LA or a major city.
True. I've seen it going up into the high desert.
I want to go into the desert.
Unbelievable.
I want to go into the desert one of these times. We got to find a time to all go out. Maybe when the babies are a little bigger and they could enjoy something like that. But
yeah, because I think that would be a great thing for the plans that I have. Because being right here, we have the Griffith Observatory. Right,
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
it's a stone's throw away. We could Uber there for a few dollars, take a picnic with us, and go out to the park. They have the Griffith Park right there.
I mean, we could drive up there.
Yeah, it's I mean, if you have ever been there on a weekday, the schools and museum, like schools and visitors that all go there, you end up parking so far away you need to take a shuttle to get in,
because you're basically walking all the way up.
Yeah.
I want to do some of those trails that are over there, but
Well, that's cool too.
see the trails. I think would be nice because I am not a big hiker, and LA has a lot of hiking spots. I learned that when I had to start doing a few dog walks for my job.
You learn that there's a lot of hiking spots, or that you're not a hiker?
Both. I learned that LA has so many hiking spots, and I know none of them at all. So I always see these cool pictures that all the hikers and the walkers take on these like beautiful trails. And then I'm walking around. I'm like, where the hell is where are the trees? I don't know where these trails are that they're going to. So
I've only really gone, quit getting temperamental. Today, we are recording on location.
off location.
Off location. Off location? Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah.
I thought reporters always say on location when they move to.
Oh, I thought that was on.
So I was going to say on location to Bon Jovi's residence.
We've taken it to him.
We have come to you, Bon Jovi. You are famous.
Wow. Yeah, he's honestly the third member of this podcast.
I think you are.
He's been on a lot of episodes.
I think you are the third member of this pod. You need to start contributing.
Exactly.
Right? I need some help with social media, bud.
And I need you to edit every once in a while.
God.
Edit the clips at least, dude.
Pull your weight, homie.
Introduce yourself.
Come
here. Interesting.
He had very little to say. He's a man of few words. But on the note of hiking and going for these long walks, one of the things that I liked about this movie was the absolute terror of going outside. We have to admit, 85 miles from one, what do they call them? Underground. It was like not a cavern, but they're bunkers that they made. Mm-hmm. So his
they call it colony.
Colony, that's right. So his colony was 85 miles from his ex-girlfriend Amy's colony.
Well,
and he tracked it.
He seemed to be under the impression that they weren't still together technically, but they were. You know?
Well, because he promised her he was going to go find her.
Yeah, and they never broke up.
And she said, "You better."
They never broke up, and then they started talking to each other on the radio. So I see why. I see like the mindset he was under. It was interesting throughout the whole movie. There was multiple characters who told him like, "Are you sure about this? Yeah. Are you sure she feels that way?"
But I love the way most actors, you know this, most actors, they're typecast, and even if they don't try to be, I'm going to give you a for instance, just like one of the greatest roles ever, but don't misinterpret what I'm saying, because I think this actor is fantastic and was not typecast. But Val Kilmer was Doc Holliday.
I don't know who that is.
And
You're speaking boomer to me.
Tombstone. Gen X. There's a whole generation in between here. That is like a great Western movie about Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, well, the Earps and the McClantons, the Cowboys gang. It's wild. It is.
Is that the one that Grandpa always quotes? You took the body.
That's Poltergeist.
Oh, okay.
What he quotes from Tombstone is, "Hey kid, I'm sorry. Hey, I ain't your kid. Oh, take it easy, kid. I'm sorry. I ain't your kid, and I ain't easy. You could take sorry and shove it up your ass." That's what he always quotes.
There's another Tombstone quote that he says.
I'm your Huckleberry.
No.
You're no Daisy.
No.
I want you to know it's over. Well, bye.
That one. Yeah. I didn't know it was from Tombstone for a long time, but I would do that all the time where I just be like, well, bye. And I just knew that nobody got it, but I knew.
It was like the most cold-blooded line in the movie, right? Curly Bill had just ordered and killed one of the Earp brothers and disabled the other one. Like, he took the use of his arm by shooting them both. And then they're leaving town. The Earps are leaving town with their coffin, their brother in the coffin behind them. And he stops in front of the saloon where Curly Bill is and says, "I just want you to know that it's over." And Curly Bill just looks at him and says, "Well, bye." Like, it was so cold-blooded. And then what happened next was the epic vengeance. Or as Doc Holliday said, a reckoning.
So welcome to our episode on Tombstone.
Okay. Well, how did we get onto that?
I have no idea.
Typecast.
Oh, typecast. Yeah. So I know what you mean. Because
he was not typecast. He was not that character.
I was expecting, because I know what you mean. Some actors, that's just who they are.
Yep.
That as a person, that's who that actor is. So you can never fully get rid of that. But he played the sheepish, terrified idiot so well, and it was so different from Thomas.
Completely opposite.
It was a different fucking guy. What a good actor. That was so good.
Thomas was ready to go into and even though Joel was his name in this, even though Joel was like ready to go,
but his hesitation,
he knew his limitations and he was scared, and he was able to admit that he was afraid of it, but he said, I got to do it. I loved going with him.
Yeah.
Like, it was a fun trip to go with him and see the things he saw.
They made it kind of lighthearted.
They did.
Like, a lot of the things, even that when the bad things were happening, there was still like a lighthearted sense to it.
Yeah, you were still not afraid. It wasn't suspenseful in that regard. It was a very lighthearted film in this. One of the things that just grossed me out was the leeches.
Man,
that just grossed me out.
Leeches in general,
they're bad. But the giant leeches?
God, why do leeches exist? Ooh.
That was bad. That was something else.
No, I felt him there. I don't know if I could. Oh man, pull them off of me like that. Oh man, and then knowing that they're mutated ones, I think I'd pass out. Which would be bad. And
then he's walking away, all like discombobulated,
pissed
and hallucinating.
At Boy.
Oh yeah, he was pissed. But Boy, by the way, which I absolutely loved the way they did this, was a dog had survived on its own and rescued him. Mm-hmm. He is a clumsy, call him hapless. He just kind of stumbles upon things.
He got saved from the frog.
That was enormous. I mean, I love the way they showed you all of these all of these monsters in different stages.
What was your favorite?
It had to be the crab.
That's a good one.
Because I absolutely love the way he was able to put into practice what Minnow and Clyde told him. Right? It's always in the eyes. Minnow is the little girl.
Oh.
And Clyde was Michael Rooker.
Too close to Minnow.
No, this was just.
I was like, he's in this movie, and Luda.
And Luda.
No way.
You can't ever miss an opportunity to go for Luda.
Luda's always got to be. He's in every movie, as far as I care.
This movie was ludicrous.
You think so?
It was. It was. I mean, I enjoyed that the world ended exactly as you would expect with an asteroid. I was like, oh, okay. Like, so why is this monster? So I'm thinking I'm like, oh, fuck, like extraterrestrials. Like this is, there's some
Space
organisms.
monsters.
Yeah, space monsters on the asteroid that survived this thing. Nope.
Yeah,
because we blew up the asteroid in outer space, but it was the chemical compounds that fell back from the rockets that mutated the
so that's why
cold-blooded animals.
That's why I started this episode by talking about the asteroid that's coming around. Is that it wouldn't surprise me.
It could happen.
It could happen.
And if it does, understand that if they follow this movie, the military and the largest of the monsters will wipe each other out. That was the whole thing. The biggest, most dangerous ones killed the military killed them, and then there was basically nothing left in that regard. And all that were left were all of the middle-sized things like the giant frog.
Which were still not middle-sized.
The poor innocent slug that could crush you without even trying.
Oh, man, that slug was so cool. What a cool idea that they're not all bad.
Right.
They don't all want to hurt you. It's very animal.
Right.
And I like that because even in the wild, there are animals that are notoriously dangerous animals.
Nope ropes.
Yeah, that will, if you understand their body language, I think bears.
Okay.
If you understand a bear's body language and you understand whether you're a threat or not, it's not as dangerous as you would think.
I've walked up on a bear. So I was in Sequoia National Forest. Mm-hmm. We were camping, and we're getting happy. I mean, we're drinking it up. And I have to go to the bathroom. So I walk away from the campsite. You walk down I would call it a driveway. There's like a circle drive, right? Where you come into the campsite, and it's in a big oval. And there's a circle drive that you go to your parking spot or your camp spot. You have a little slot for your car. You can park one car in the slot and so on and so forth. Then the campsites are all like fairly separated one from the other. So when you get up and you walk away, as soon as you walk away from your campfire, it's dark. And so, we have flashlights, and you look down, asphalt, black asphalt, you walk. There are 2 turnouts. One goes to the dumpsters, one goes to the bathrooms. And the dumpsters are, from my perspective where I'm walking, they're before the bathrooms. But as I'm looking out in my inebriated state, I see the light for the bathroom.
You're tunnel visioned.
And I think, oh, I turn on this one. So I turn on the little road, and I walk up, and I'm stopped by the dumpster. Now my head's down. I'm looking down at the ground so I don't trip. And I walk up, and I see the dumpsters first. And I was like, oh, man. I turn around. I was like, I went down with the wrong one. Start walking away. I hear I stop. I turn around. And thank God I was this drunk, because I don't know what would have happened if I would have startled the bear. All I could muster was I turn and look, and there's a giant bear standing on top of the dumpster trying to get in. Now, they're all protected. The bears can't get into the dumpsters. Mm-hmm. So it knows there's food in there. It's standing on it, and I walk right up to this guy. I mean, I'm telling you, I was like chest to the dumpster. And I turn around and walk away. I'm a couple of steps away, so I'm still within reach of a bear. And I turn back, and I look, and I see the bear. I put my flashlight up, and I see the bear. And all I could think to say was, "What's up, bear?" And I turn, and I keep walking.
He's like, what's up? What's up? This is bullshit. I can't get in this dumpster. What the fuck is this about, man?
Hey, I think you're probably right. Because I make my way to the bathroom. I'm standing in the bathroom. I'm peeing. And it's as I'm peeing that I'm finally thinking like, oh, shit.
I'm just face to face with a bear.
I just walked up on a bear. What the hell? Like, now I'm reacting, right? So now I'm thinking like, how do I get back to my campground? I'm going to walk out. That bear's going to be there. Okay, don't overreact. Maybe he's not there. I open the door. I look out. There he is. He's between me and the dumpsters off the trail on the grass. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, and he takes a couple of steps and I'm thinking, shit, I'm sleeping in the bathroom tonight, aren't I? Well, thank God they have park rangers there and they sleep there. She saw the bear and she comes out with a wooden spoon and a pot, and she's banging the pot, and the bear goes
black bear?
running off. Yeah. And I was in no danger, but of course it was that, well, I could have been. For all I know, I have no idea what that bear was thinking.
I mean, the good thing is that of the bears, black bears are the ones you want to encounter.
Yeah, they're lazy.
If you're going to encounter a bear in the wild, you want it to be a black bear. Because even, not that they can't kill you.
Oh, right.
They can.
Right.
But that's not usually their main thing. They're lazy, like you said. They don't
That's what I was
fight
taught
for their food.
I was taught they're lazy and they would rather not have to fight for food. They're going to go for easy stuff.
That's why you be loud with a black bear, because
loud
then they're like,
big.
nah, too much. You're too much. I don't want to deal with you.
Yep. I don't want to have to fight you. It's just not worth it.
Do not try that with a grizzly.
No. And as I heard, I may have said this on the podcast before. If you're in grizzly bear country, you use the thumb test. You put your thumb up. Oh, I did, because we talked about this with nuclear bombs.
Yep.
You put your thumb up, and if you can't cover the bear entirely, you are too close, because they can run and they can climb. You don't want to be in their proximity.
No.
I've seen those videos. Have you seen those videos? There was
running?
There was a guy who was riding a bike.
I saw that.
Holy moly, man. That bear was so fast because he was moving.
If he didn't rev his engine like that and scare the bear, he would have been dead.
Oh, wait, which one are you talking about? Because I was talking about a guy on a bicycle.
Oh, there was a guy on a dirt bike, and this bear charged him. Like, came out of freaking nowhere, charged him. He fell off of the dirt bike and, like, scrambled to it and pulled the accelerator. And right at the bear was, like, on top of the bike. And the bike just, and the bear backed off and started running away. But if he didn't rev that bike, nothing would have stopped that
That's
bear.
incredible.
He would have died.
No, I didn't see that one. I saw one of a guy riding a bicycle in a mountain path. As he's riding, all of a sudden the bear's in his way. He does a 180 instantly, starts riding, pedaling as fast as he can away from the bear, goes all the way down this trail, goes past one fork, past another fork, and he's moving. And he keeps turning around and looking, and the bear is still right there. I mean, he's not outrunning this bear. And then he comes upon a tree, a large tree blocking his bike path. So he abandons his bike and runs and hides behind a tree, which I thought, you're nuts.
What else are you going to do, though?
Yeah, because it was too much. Like, if he would have tried to carry the bike over the tree trunk and then get back on and pedal away.
Bear.
So, but it worked, because he got around that tree and the bear like stopped. It looked around and then it walked off the other way. I was like, dude, I don't want to be in that situation.
Lucky as hell. I mean, bears can run 35 miles an hour, so you're not outrunning them.
At least those bears can.
Have you seen the snowboarder?
Oh my God, I did.
Singing, didn't even know.
That Rihanna?
Yeah. Work. The freaking bear barreling down a mountain for her.
So crazy to me, because I'm like, this is like, she was so wholesome and just singing this song, going about her day,
and
enjoying herself.
If she fucked up, she wouldn't have even known that would have been her last fuck up.
I mean, dude, that one was crazy too.
Imagine going back through the footage.
Yeah, and that's what she said. That's what she said.
Oh my God, I would poop myself.
That's what she said in the article. It really scared her when she went back and looked and saw that, and so she had to post it.
I bet you she always looks behind her now every once in a while.
Just those areas, you've got certain mountain ranges where it's just not leisure like that. I mean, I think more in the realm of the Colorado Rockies, you don't have to worry about that so much, but there are still predators.
Well, yeah, you're going into their territory. And as much as we have kind of colonized those areas and humanified it, it's still bear territory.
Yep.
That's like I don't like hiking with small dogs up in these hills because there's bobcats and there's mountain lions. So the bigger dogs, even with big dogs, I don't want to fight a mountain lion at all. I don't care what dog I have with me. I don't want to fight a mountain lion because odds are the dog will die, and I don't want to deal with that. So I don't even like hiking in these areas because of that. I can't imagine mountains.
Yeah. What really shocked me, I don't know why I had this false impression that mountain lions were like a little bit bigger than bobcats.
No, they're freaking huge.
They're freaking lions, dude. 140, 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Like
Bobcats are way smaller than I thought they were.
Yeah, well, bobcats were the ones that tricked me because I think they're also in the same family as lynx.
Yeah, they're like 20, 30 pounds. They're not that big. Like a big dog, a really big dog could. I don't know if it exactly would fight off a mountain or a bobcat, but I don't think a bobcat would attack a really big dog.
I mean, in desperation they will, but yeah, you're right. They're not going to go looking for a fight against something that big.
No, a mountain lion I could see.
I've watched
going for the kill.
I watched videos of mountain lions jumping into backyards and like trying to take large dogs away. Like one really shocked me because I believe, God, I want to say it was 2 German shepherds, and I was so dismayed when I saw this video. It was like ring doorbell camera but in the backyard, and so this person had their whole house wired up with the camera, and you saw this dang mountain lion stalking, and it hops over the fence. It goes right up. This dog was laying down sleeping in his own backyard, and he bites it. Now, the part that tripped me out was the amount of blood. I think it was blood. I don't know what else it could have been because the mountain lion bit it. I swore there was blood that sprayed all over the floor. And then the other German shepherd comes running out, and they both fight it. And that mountain lion had to retreat. You know, it could take one of them by surprise.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's how they attack.
Yep.
They sneak up. That's what that second dog showed up. He was like, nope.
Couldn't take them both. I mean, he did damage to both of them because both of them had gnarly stitches, and the one survived, by the way. The one that it bit.
Okay, that's good.
It survived, but it was just so wild to me that there was so much blood. I was like, oh my God, this is.
Their claws are insane.
And their teeth. Yeah. I mean, these things are.
Those are
real
predators.
Lions.
Well, just think of how sharp a cat's teeth and claws are.
Yes.
I mean, I hate it when there's a cat here, Dexter. Cute little guy, super friendly cat. Every once in a while, though, he gets that killer instinct where he just goes to swat my hand and he's not declawed in the front. So I'll just be petting him and then he gets like real into it and goes to swat me. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep. Or when cats just get the idea to just bite you out of nowhere.
So I realized I'm not a cat expert, okay? I'm not a cat behavioralist. But what I think is happening, I think they're trying to play. I think they're playing, because think about a dog. You know how like you kind of like slap a dog around in the face and they like play bite you?
Right.
See, the thing is, when puppies do that, it hurts like a bitch because they have sharp little dagger teeth. But as they get older, their teeth aren't so sharp. So when they play bite you, it doesn't hurt as long as they know how to play bite. A cat's teeth are so sharp and their claws are so sharp. I don't think they realize it. So they're trying to play. They like play bite you, but it hurts. That it's for us. That's just biting us.
Yep.
So I think cats, when they do that, I think they're just trying to play. Because think about the way they play with their toys.
Right.
When you have like their little play mice and stuff, they just attack them. They're hunting them.
Which we've talked about that too. I mean, you're so right in that regard that maybe they're more like dogs than we've thought, because dogs love the squeakiness because it imitates the squealing of prey. Mm-hmm. And it's like we always think, oh, how cute, you know? No, that ain't cute. That thing's squealing.
I've got you.
I'm killing you.
They're here.
Who?
The zombies.
I thought the gate would stop them.
They knocked it down instantly.
How much time do we have?
They're already here.
We should have bought that beautiful Los Angeles dream house in that safe neighborhood that Corinne showed us.
I know, it was so much more defensible, and Corinne would have had us moved in before the apocalypse.
Do you think it's too late to call her now?
I'll try. No! We should have called Corinne sooner!
Don't wait until it's too late. Call Corinne Salas today at 714-510-6443 and buy your Los Angeles dream house now. That's 714-510-6443. You can also find her on Instagram at Next Home by Corinne, or visit her website at corinnesalas.nexthomegrandview.com. That's CORINNESALAS.nexthomegrandview.com. So here's just an interesting fact. As we're talking about Love and Monsters, which had a giant frog right from the beginning, a giant slug, I don't know what it was. I was thinking it was like a giant beetle of some sort that was tracking him, because I don't recall ever seeing it, but it was humongous.
I think it was a stink bug.
Oh man, because it was coming.
Yeah.
And they said that Clyde and Minnow told him, he has your scent. Now they're not fast, but he also is relentless. He's not going to stop.
I wonder what it was.
I'm thinking it was because it was, whatever it was enormous.
It's huge.
Right? And so
it was moving trees.
You think about this, right? How big these things are. Now, in the Colorado Rockies, and this comes back to Love and Monsters shortly, the 10 most dangerous animals that live in the Rockies are western rattlesnake, moose, white-tailed deer, American bison, wolf, black bears, recluse spider, black widow spider, yellow jackets, and ticks. Those are the most dangerous animals, the 10 most dangerous animals that live in the Rockies.
Do you consider insects animals?
I do not.
I don't either. I know I guess they are, because like what else would they be? But I classify them differently.
Well, but can we classify? I mean, I don't think so, because I think how do we classify that? Because
we're animals.
We are animals.
So to me, animals are any biological living being with, that moves and thinks. But I mean, that's kind of a little loose, because there's some like slugs and stuff that I guess would like kind of not count, meet those qualifications. But an animal is like, to me, an animal is a living thing that's not a plant.
Okay.
Right? Does that cover everything?
It gets very complex when you look at the definition. Any group of multicellular, here's a tough word, eukaryotic organisms. Multicellular eukaryotic organisms, as distinct from bacteria, their DNA is contained in a membrane-bound nucleus. Okay, so that is I think a broad definition of an animal, as opposed to plants or mycota, which is fungi. Mm-hmm. So those are the only 3 kingdoms I think that exist: the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the fungi. So
technically, insects do fall under animals.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we agree that although science says it, this is like a Pluto situation. They are different.
But just to be fair, I only want to exclude them because I'm disgusted by them.
Really? I don't mind them. Certain ones. The only ones I don't freaking like are spiders.
Those are the ones well, let me be more precise. I can't stand most arachnids. I can't name an arachnid that I'm okay with.
I don't like scorpions. I don't like the fact that they can sting you, that like with their tail. That's creepy. But they don't give me anywhere near the fear that a spider gives me.
For real?
Yeah, I see a scorpion and I go kill mode.
No.
Like I see a scorpion and I'm like, oh, fuck you. And I go grab a shoe. But if I see a scorpion...
Did you have scorpions in Texas?
Yes.
Oh.
So scorpions don't freak me out that much. I don't like them by any means. I don't like anything that can sting me with its tail. That's
I'm going to tell you why scorpions freak me the fuck out.
Why?
I was young, about 7th grade, went to my aunt and uncle's who lived in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, taking a shower, and scorpion fell off of the shower head.
No. See, I could see why that would freak you the fuck out.
Freaked me out. And then I go yelling, right? There's a scorpion. And they come running in, and guess what that little fucker did?
He hid?
Went down the drain. So, no, there's no scorpion. No. My mom went in and took a shower. Fucker came back out. Bet your ass they took care of it after that. Oh, she raised hell. But that was when I got taught, like, the big ones, you don't have to worry about as much. They're not as dangerous.
Because they know how much venom to release.
It hurts. It doesn't kill.
Well, because they know they can't kill you, so they're not going to waste all their venom. Well, also, even if they were able to kill you, you're way too much food for them.
Well, I think the little ones, and they only kill out of self-defense. Like they only sting out of self-defense. A human, something as big as us. That's not their prey.
See, I've started to think about that recently. That's why a lot of small dogs are such little assholes. Is that I try to think of it from their perspective. Imagine these giants just walking around, touching you randomly, picking you up at random, yelling and screaming all around. That could be pretty freaking terrifying.
Do you think that just our regular talking sounds like yelling to them? Because imagine their hearing. How excellent dogs' hearing is. Do you think that just our regular talking comes off to them as like we're fucking screaming because we're huge compared to them?
I think maybe we sound a lot deeper to them than, which I have no scientific basis to back this up, but I would guess that maybe we sound deeper to them just because we project more volume than normal. But think about how loud
as
a dog's
opposed to
bark.
high pitch frequencies.
Well, think about how loud a dog's bark is, though.
Right.
That's why I don't think they see us as yelling all the time. Because his bark is louder than my regular talking voice. I get you. So,
and they can handle that. Yeah. And they can handle other dogs barking in their presence.
And he barks all the damn time. So I don't think it bothers him. That's why like I always pay attention when I'm listening to music in the car. I just pay attention. If I notice them start playing with their ears or anything, then I turn the volume down. But if they're not messing with their ears, I listen to music loud.
Yep.
And I know dogs have sensitive hearing. So I listen to music loud and I just glance over every once in a while. If he's just laying there chilling, he's fine. If he's like pawing at his ear, trying to, messing with it, then he's saying like my ears hurt. So and I'll turn it down.
I have to think like in this contradistinction, because this movie gives us a good frame of reference to see these animals which you and I go outside and you see a slug or a snail and it's freaking tiny, right? Yeah, more likely than not, you're not even going to see them.
The roles reverse.
Now these things are enormous. But one thing that I thought of, somebody commented on this, and I thought it was such a heartwarming thing to say about dogs, which is dogs look at us the way we must envision how we look at mythical creatures like elves.
We live forever.
We live forever. We go through their entire life barely changing. Now our kids are different, right? Because kids grow so fast that dogs and kids kind of keep up with each other. But then at some point we stop.
When a dog and a kid are growing up together, the kid grows so fast, but the dog realizes that they're going from puppy to adult to old dog, and this is still a kid.
Yes.
Because they're still looking at this like you're not even your parents.
And then us, we remain the same to them.
Maybe they see us gray a little bit.
Yep.
But that's it. Yeah.
But even at over 15 years long, that's why I love the way they bring up like Lord of the Rings, how you see the elves. It's all a matter of perspective. We say eternal being, but even in that kind of concept, they weren't eternal. They moved on. They went out of this world, if you will, right?
And they can die.
Right. And they can die, right?
Yeah.
So I think like all a matter of perspective, we look at that creature, an elf, and it's like, oh my God, they're eternal. They're an immortal being. They don't die. Well, yeah, they do.
Or at least they have an insanely long lifespan.
Right. They just don't age. Now we are the same to dogs. Dogs look at us and it's like, wow, they don't age.
Have you seen that long post where it's somebody writing from the perspective of an old family dog?
No.
And he's basically it's from the perspective of an old dog. And the dog is saying, my grandfather and his son and then me have all been taken care of by this man who I thought could never age, but I'm seeing him slow down. I'm seeing him get old.
Oh, right.
And it was basically saying like, when I had my puppies, he gave them to his kids. And I think I'm going to be the last dog that he takes care of. And one of the last lines was, I just hope I get to live long enough to see such a miraculous event, to see one of them pass.
Wow.
And just thinking about
That's
that,
deep.
Dogs rarely ever see their owners pass.
Right.
And if they do, you see how they react.
They're usually depressed.
Yeah, I mean, that to me that feels very unnatural, like a kid dying before a parent.
Yeah.
That's not how that's supposed to happen.
And it's kind of a cliche thing to say now, but it's so true, man. I really feel like it. We don't deserve dogs. They're so good. Mm-hmm. They're so loyal. They're so they could teach us so much if we would just open our minds and learn from them.
They're just super innocent.
Very innocent.
They're not so corrupted by who likes who,
right.
and what's popular,
right.
what's PC to say, and what's that. They just fucking are
completely innocent. And another example of that was Boy in this movie. I mean, after, what was his name again? I keep wanting to say Dylan, but it wasn't, Joel. And when Joel yelled at him because this dog, and they never really explained the red dress.
Well, clearly it was his owner's.
Clearly.
It was his
we're
the little
forced
girl
to
who used to own him.
We're forced to imagine this, right?
Yeah.
Which is sad when you think about it.
Yeah, well, you're also, what I like about it is that you know as much as Joel knows.
Right.
And you're dealing with an animal. An animal can't talk to you. Mm-hmm. So you're
Although that dog did. It didn't talk, but it talked.
Well, all dogs do.
Right, which is so true.
So that's something, now that working at a dog daycare, I've learned a lot about dogs, because I always knew that every dog has their own personality, but I was never around a dog long enough to really see their personalities and start to understand them. And man, some of these dogs, I know what they're thinking. I know exactly what's going through their little brain of theirs. Like, some of them will make eye contact and I'm like, don't you do it. And we both know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a planter that one of them's looking at. I'm like, do not make me walk across this yard right now.
Do you ever see how similar dogs are to children?
Very. So
you'll make eye contact. You'll see that. I know what you're going to do.
Don't do it.
They don't look at you. They're not looking at you. They're looking at something, and you know it. Like, oh, don't you dare. And there's a vibe. When you set off some vibe, all of a sudden you'll see them turn and look at you, and it's like, oh, shit.
Well, you know what that
means?
At me. That means, is he looking? That's exactly what that is, and they do it all the time. You're exactly right. They'll be walking towards something, they have their eye on it, and they'll take a quick peek to see if I'm looking or not.
And that's why I don't think zombies would ever be a real threat.
I agree, because...
Whoa, I'll get my kukuri.
Wait. I think he's saying something.
Zombies don't talk.
Just wait a sec. What was that?
You need a loan? What, are you going to buy a house?
What do you need a loan for?
I think he wants to buy a home. Don't we know someone who can help him with that?
Yeah, we do. Have you heard of Corinne Salas at Next Home Grandview in Glendale, California?
Mm-hmm. She can help you get moved into your forever home now.
Your eternal resting place, if you will. Or forever home. That works. Don't miss the opportunity of a lifetime like this guy. Call Corinne today at 714-510-6443. You can also find her on Instagram at Next Home by Corinne, or visit her website at corinnesalas.nexthomegrandview.com. That's CORINNESALAS.nexthomegrandview.com.
Not food. A couple of things about this movie that I think make it makes it really hard, because we don't go over a lot of the basics, right? There's no understanding of where he's getting water, where he's getting food. You see him go after a berry, which Boy lets him know that's not a good idea, and he listens to Boy.
Which, great idea.
Yep.
I'm just saying, though, I don't think you needed Boy to know that was not a good berry to eat.
You know, you make a good point, because it looked a little too nice.
It looked like an alien berry. It looked like there was something growing inside of it.
Like if you look at blueberries, you look at raspberries, you look at blackberries, they're all a certain opaqueness, right? They have this look to them. They're never that shiny and clear and bright. But yeah, those ones looked trippy, but when you're hungry, but
I guess I could see that. But
we didn't go over, at least the movie didn't cover a lot of that stuff. You know, where was he getting food? How was he eating? Maybe he was eating dried goods that he packed, because although he talked about making minestrone.
Yeah, so he was like famous in his colony for, that was like the only thing he was good for, was making that one.
And the radio.
Dish. And the radio. Which it seemed like he was trying to keep himself busy. He just had a freezing problem, which I kind of feel like I relate to that. I'm not like the bravest person ever. I don't think I would freeze, but I'm just so small. I'm not a fighter. I have to think of other like creative ways to do things or make myself useful. So I kind of relate in that aspect, that I'm not really one to just go fight a fucking 12-foot cockroach.
Dude, I gotta say, probably one of the most badass moments that he had, I think, besides the end when he freed the crab, when he figured that out, freed the crab, one of his most badass moments was when he pulled the pin on that grenade and threw it in the mouth of that subterranean bug, whatever that was.
It was a sandworm.
Oh.
It was a sandworm.
It was so gross.
And I loved that whole sequence. It was so him. What was 3, 4, 5?
Always count to 5. That's right.
He was just guessing.
That was so. There were a few things there that I have a hard time telling you if I would survive, because we don't go over water, we don't go over food. But let's assume that we have water, we have food.
Well, we know what to do in those situations. Boil water.
And we know that there's water, and we know that there's food.
So one rule that, what was the guy's name? What was Merle's name?
Clyde.
One thing Clyde brought up that is honestly so smart in a situation where you're dealing with animals that are constantly hunting you. You can sleep or you can eat, not both. I like that rule. That's a
good.
hard rule, but that's a good point. You're going to cook food and get that sent out to everybody and then just stay there?
Which is very true. In this example, you can't stay there. Now, let me say, in this normal society, you and I were out in the woods, right? We hunted, we killed something, we're cooking it. The one reason why I would say it's okay to stay there is not because the predators won't know that we have a kill. They will know. But number one, you don't want to hunt, kill, and dress the animal where you're camping. You want to do that away from your camp and then walk back to your camp. The scent will still be at your camp, don't get me wrong, but the major scent is away, right? And hopefully downwind, so that they don't track you. Now, even if they do track you, one of the good things that we have going for us, not in this movie, because doing this would be probably inviting trouble, which is lighting fire. Yeah. You have a fire, most predators don't want to fuck with fire.
I don't want to know what a giant moth would look like in this world.
Oh my God. And you remember the giant moth was what killed the president?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are certain bugs like that. Like I wouldn't want to know what the giant cockroach would look like, where it showed the animated one that opened the tank. Bob exited the tank.
Didn't they show wasn't that what attacked their colony?
Oh, you know what? I thought it was an ant.
Oh, it was an ant. He did say it was an ant.
That was vicious, though.
Yeah. You know, I'm so glad they didn't do it. It would have been cliche, but I would have expected it. They didn't do a spider.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to the whole time. Yeah. And I was like preparing myself.
All right, here's another boomer moment for you. There's an old movie, Disney movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
So this was not
That one's not that old.
This was not Auntie. That big ant to them that helped them fight the scorpion. That ant that got into their colony was not Auntie.
No. You know, there's a game that is basically that movie.
Really?
It's called Grounded. You're 4 kids who got shrunk down in a backyard, to microscopic levels. And it's a survival crafting game. And it has a storyline and it has bosses. Good game. It's really fun.
That would be fun.
It's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a class once because we had a sub.
That's always what subs do. You always get to watch movies.
Freaking love subs. All right, so wrapping up, what do you think? Do you survive?
You know, I do. I think I can survive.
We didn't talk about his book. I think that's
well, that's a good point because that's one of the reasons why I'm going off of this, because everything he did was very detail oriented. And if we're given the same set of parameters, we're logging the monsters, and he had been for a while. It wasn't like this was brand new.
You could log monsters?
I don't think I could draw them. I do not think I could draw them, but I definitely do think I would log them. Number one, I'm very much like him in that if I had nothing to do, I would go freaking out of my mind. Mm. I would be like him. I would have left the colony way sooner if I wasn't doing all of those things. I love the idea that they gave that he was fixing the radio, getting the radio to work, and cooking for them, and that was how he kept busy. He was also documenting all of the monsters. That gave him stuff to do. He didn't get stir crazy until he had finished.
What do you think your role in a colony would be?
Mine? Oh, boy. I'm a bit of a fire starter. I am a gatherer. I don't know.
You think you'd be doing surface missions?
I would like to think so. I'm brave enough, but I don't know if I would die because I'm way too gung-ho.
Now, do you think that would change if your life was on the line?
When I've had those situations where I've had to run out for security and there's a dangerous person, I don't hesitate. I've run out there. I mean, courage isn't the absence of fear. I'm afraid, but I'm not gonna hold up. I'm gonna be out there and I'm gonna deal with it. And I would like to think I would be able to do that even in this situation. Number one of the things for me is I'm not afraid of death. So that it won't cripple me the same as someone who doesn't want to die, someone who believes that death is the absolute end. I think I have that one advantage. So while that's a positive, but it can also be a negative, because in a situation where I am, you would have, okay, here's how I'd have to frame it. I would have to be responsible for my wife and my babies, and that fear would keep me going. The fear of letting them down. Do
you worry like you might be too comfortable with the idea of being okay with death in like a situation like this?
Yeah, that would scare me if I'm still having to take care of my wife and kids. It would scare me that I would be too okay with dying and leave them helpless, right? Because they don't have the same courage that I have to just run out, Leroy Jenkins this shit.
Well, I don't know. Scarlett might. She's fucking wild.
Which I do have to say, most kids do have that kind of courage. Most kids aren't afraid of consequences.
She is rough.
Yeah, that is true.
She's rough in a dress.
She is rough in a dress. So I do think I could survive, but you ask a really good question. What would my role be in this type of camp? I think I would either take charge or I would be a surface mission person. I would be learning how to hunt, how to gather forage for food and equipment. And I think that's what my role would have to be. I don't think I could do what he did. I'm fairly technical, but I'm not that good. I wouldn't be able to put a radio together.
You couldn't just work an old radio?
I can work them. I used to use CB radios all the time. I can work them. I don't know if I'd be able to repair one.
See, I'm not a tinkerer. I don't know how people just like tinker. How do you just grab a radio and go like, oh, well, this must be what's wrong with it? How do you even know how it functions?
I look at some of the guys who do that, and they look I mean, they see some fine detail in stuff. Oh, this capacitor's blown. How do you know that? Look at this. There's a little
First of
dimple
all,
right here.
what the fuck is a capacitor? Like, what?
There's capacitors, there's resistors, there's transistors.
Yeah, you know what I know? My amp works. That's what I know. I don't care if the transistor, the capacitor, the.
So you would not be
No,
Joel. You wouldn't be tinkering with a radio.
No, you know what I am? I am what I am in all survival situations. I'm the moral support, dude.
Moral support?
I'm here with the guitar. I got you if you need a nice tune to fall asleep.
What do they call that? A bard?
Yeah, I'm a bard, basically. What else am I going to do? Oh, so, okay, I thought about that. It's a fun way to broaden your life experience is to think, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, how useless would I be? Pretty useless. Aside from bard, which I don't like to undermine the importance of that.
Right.
Because I do think, especially like zombie situations, moral music like that will be very important.
Yep.
For just people's mental health, their well-being.
It is true.
But I've been thinking I want to start training dogs, or animal behavior in general could be valuable.
And you use a dog to travel in, grab supplies, get certain items, and come back out.
I wasn't even just thinking dogs. I was thinking like the amount of people who don't know how to act around a moose is crazy. Like,
I got it. I got to say, I don't know if I would know how to act or how to act around a moose. I mean, I would stop. I wouldn't approach it. I wouldn't charge at it. I wouldn't make loud noises and try to scare it off initially. I'm walking. I come across a moose. I think my job is to remain calm, not to cause it alarm, and try to, the best I can, keep my eyes on it, keep facing it, but move away from it in a slow, calm manner.
So you got some of it. You want to put a tree, as big of a tree as you can, between you and the moose.
Makes sense.
Because if it decides to charge, you want something to block.
Yep.
Because they can also run incredibly fast. And moose are... We don't have to deal with moose here in LA, but...
Right.
I just think like coyotes, things like that. But a moose, if they don't kill you with their antlers by charging you, they will stomp you to death, which is a brutal way to go.
And they can definitely do it very easy. I mean, they're absolutely enormous.
Freaking 800 pounds. They're huge. Do you know how big an elk is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then these have weight, massive amount of weight over an elk.
What
a moose.
Oh, a moose? Really? I thought an elk was bigger than a moose.
I think they're taller, but I think they're lankier. I gotta look.
I'm pretty sure an elk might be like half a ton.
An elk is a half a ton? Elk are significantly smaller.
Oh, shoot. How big are elks?
So let me see. What is an elk? What is a moose? Okay, so one of the most noticeable differences between elk and moose is their size. Elk are significantly smaller than moose, weighing around 450 to 700 pounds, while moose can weigh upwards of 1,500 pounds.
Damn! Okay, I had him flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moose are the largest member of the deer family. Oh, that's interesting.
They almost weigh a ton.
I didn't know they were in the deer family.
Well, really?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
I guess I could see, like, just never connecting those two dots.
Yeah, but that makes perfect sense when I see them.
They're basically the same animal, just one's way bigger.
Dang. So there's that. All right. Well, what do you think? I think I can survive this if I'm not Joel. I don't think I could handle tinkering with a radio and doing the log. Well, actually, that might change it, because if I'm not doing the logbook that he did, I don't know. But if I am,
well, would you let's place you, because that's the idea, right? We place ourselves.
I am a very organized person, and
I could see myself making a log, because
Yeah.
I would get bored and start drawing.
I like to write. I don't think I would draw. I think I would have to do descriptors. I would write the description of what I saw. I would write down the aggressive behavior it demonstrated. Yeah, I think I would do stuff like that. I that would make perfect sense. When I go fishing, I study the area I'm going to and what fish are there. What do the fish like to bite as bait? So I think if I was stuck in this world, I think I would continue that habit.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on the movie?
I just really liked it. I thought it was a decent break, and even though it was the same guy, it wasn't the same guy.
I know.
I
It was
really,
really cool.
I really liked it.
That was a really interesting.
I think it was a good recommendation.
So, with that being said, we have socials. You could find us on Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok.
not Snapchat, TikTok, and
Pinterest.
At
Will You Survive the Podcast?
You want to take over at this point? Because or you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Alex and Erik WYS.
That's it.
You could also send us an email.
Oh, we got another email. So, Mobster Straubs replied to us. They Alex heard our episode where we read their email and gave us an answer. Hey guys, just listened to your latest Will You Survive episode and would like to thank you for reading my email. You asked for films to avoid, and I haven't seen all the Saw films, but from what I know is the first few are pretty good, but then the rest I haven't seen are either cash grabs with different directors with awful stories or decent films. It's a mixed bag.
Which I have heard that about the series.
One thing I do remember is that Saw 3D was just annoying to watch because the blood was different to make it look better in 3D. And because it's a 3D movie, stuff just flies at the screen. But the main thing is, will you survive the traps? So I guess the story is just irrelevant. Good point.
That's a really good point because, like we said in the last episode, the whole premise is that these people have done something horribly awful.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done anything that warrants being kidnapped by a serial killer.
I took a peek at something. I didn't watch the movies, but I took a peek at some things after the last time you and I talked as we were planning this because Alex, we're going to endeavor in this.
It's on the list.
So let me finish this. You say some nice things. Anyway, I'd like to thank you two again for making the podcast. It really motivated me to watch horror, as I'm a little coward when it comes to horror movies. But the way you talk about some of these films, I thought I'd give it a go, and I've enjoyed them. Thanks, guys. Especially zombie films. I'm terrified of zombies. Well, there's no reason for you to be terrified of zombies, Alex. One of the things is real zombies are very slow. You can maneuver around them, and we will get into that. Hopefully, if you will stick around, we've got some more zombie films to cover.
All right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to Love and Monsters, will you survive?